Welcome back, football fans, to another episode of the Predictions Show. I am your host, Joe, and what do you know? That rhymed. It is Sunday today, Sunday the 29th of September. We've got Tottenham away at Old Trafford, and there are some bet builders on the previous video if you want to check them out, but this one will be focusing on Sunday. So we'll start with the player props tool, and I am seeing Melbourne victory against MacArthur. Now that could mean, I think it does mean, that the A-League is back in business. The first game of the A-League. Maybe we can try and put together a bet builder for that game. I know it's very early, but what this tool allows you to do is, let's take all of these players. We can look at the last 365 days, for example. So we've got players to score, we've got player cards, BTTS, to lift the trophy. So this actually, if you look at the A-League here, it has not started yet. It starts on October the 18th. This is the Australia Cup. So we will leave that, but it's good to know that the A-League is coming back. So we will jump to the trends page then in order to find some interesting games, and then we'll go back to the player props tool and put together a player props accumulator for today, and then we will jump as well to the bet slip generator to show you how easy it is to create bet slips every single day using the probability model. Just a quick one as well. This was a winner from the previous video, 4-1, our bet builder for the Man City Newcastle game. In fact, both of these kind of won. This slip won, of course, and then the other slip was void because Savinho didn't start, but the other two selections in that slip did win. So if you substituted out Savinho, well done to you. Anthony Gordon and Bruno both fouling in the first 2 minutes, I think it was. So really good start to this game. Under 4 goals, easy does it, 1-1. Perfect way to start the weekend. So here we are then, trends, and if you want to see videos like this every single day, all you've got to do is like this video, subscribe, comment. If you commented on the last video, check your notifications on YouTube. I have awarded a month of OddAlerts Pro to somebody that commented on the previous video. So yeah, all you've got to do is like this video and subscribe, and if there is, let's say, 500 likes on this video, I will commit to doing another one tomorrow on Monday. So that's how it's going to work going forward. So we're going to start with away wins, and we're looking at the next 24 hours here. This is the trends page, oddalerts.com/trends, and you can see all of the outcomes and markets that you're able to sort every single team in the footballing world that has a game in the next 5 days by any of these trends. So the very best away team playing on Sunday/Monday is Tigres Women, 1.42 to get the job done. They've won 6 out of 6. They're playing at 6 minutes past 2. Now at 2 p.m. from, I think this is Bulgaria, 4:15 kickoff. I'll try and select some games that are a bit later in the day because obviously if this video goes out at around 7, 8 a.m. And I'm talking about games that kick off at 9 a.m. from Australia or something, that's not as useful as it could be, is it? So this looks like a good one. I mean, 83% of games away from home they've won, 17% they've lost, and again, 0.33, whereas this home team, CSKA Sofia, have conceded 2 goals per game on average. Let's take a deeper look at this one. So the odds as we go into the game, we can look at the comparison tool here. Bet365 peak of 3s. That is quite high, isn't it? Let's have a look at the model, see what the probability model is saying. So a little bit lower in terms of implied odds, but they are still the marginal favourites, 2.59, which is 38.58%. So this is a tricky game to call for the model, and apparently so for the bookmakers as well. One thing that stands out when you look at the data is it's a small sample size, of course, bear that in mind. And CSKA, they've only played 3 games at home for some reason. If we look at their overall form, they've only lost 1 game. So we start to see where the odds are coming from, despite the away team being very good on the road. Look at the clean sheets. We saw that they've conceded just 0.33. At odds of 3, I think double chance or draw no bet, especially given the amount of games that the home team has drawn. So looking at the head-to-head, we see that some of these games have been quite tight. The previous game was a 2-1 victory, and that was the same fixture in terms of the home and the away team. 0-0, 0-0, 1-0, 2-1. So actually not many away wins at all, when you can see all of these games that are logged here from 2018 onwards, 61% have ended in a home win. So does that change your opinion of this game, given what we know about Botev, I mean, their defence is very, very good at the moment, isn't it? They've not conceded more than 1 goal in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And of course, the amount of clean sheets that they have in the league is very, very good. And I've just noticed that they are also in the Conference League, or they were. So 1.53 for the draw or the away win. Let me know what you think about that one. You could also potentially add over 1.5 goals, but those 0-0 results, a couple on the bounce in the head-to-head, puts me off that. I was going to go under 4 goals as well. I do like to sort of combine that market. And if you were to do that, it would be 1.86. So again, the odds are not fantastic for this game, given the defence for the away team is superb. So the bookies expect a tight game here. And you could see this one ending in a draw as well. So let's continue on the away wins page for a moment. We'll go to the next page. And Jegarden here from Sweden, 2.2. They've won 8 out of 12 away from home. And they are playing a team, Värnamo, 1 p.m. this one, who have picked up 0.67 points per game. They've scored 1 goal per game compared to the 1.92 of Jegarden. Let's take a deeper look at this one. So in terms of the overall data, 24 games played in this one, so a decent sample size for sure. We can see the form of both teams. And Värnamo have lost 50% of all games. All games, minus 10 goal difference compared to Jegarden's 10 goal difference, which is decent. In terms of shots on target, 5 per game for Jegarden, 3.88 for the home team. If we look at home form against away form, actually Värnamo are taking fewer shots, marginally, but fewer shots at home. And shots on target for 5.5. So it actually goes up away from home for Jegarden. And no draws. 67% win ratio away from home, minus 12 goal difference. So Värnamo are actually worse at home. Again, it's marginal because they're not a great team, but they are worse. 24 goals conceded at home this season compared to 16 away from home for Jegarden. Interesting that they've been losing in 75% of home games by half time. So what I'm going to do here is go to create, and we're going to go to half, and we're just going to take a look at first half goals. 1.4 at the moment. So let me know when that hits 1.8 and I will go in and investigate that. If you've not connected your Telegram account, you can do that via the bot. Just go to the bot, go to /Telegram on the website. I'll put a link in the description if there's anyone new here, and that's where the alerts get sent. So as soon as the odds hit, you'll get an alert with all the key stats as well, all the pressure, the shots on target for the game, the minute and everything. So what am I thinking for this game? Well, the first half alert is something that I will monitor, but this away team seems a lot better than the home team, right? And the odds are even. So yeah, 1 win in the past, 10, 11 games for the home team, whereas Jegarden, they've had a few defeats, haven't they? To the team that's 7th, to Malmo, who are 1st, AIK. Away from home, they are capable of losing, as we can see, but there are certainly more wins. And as we saw in the data a minute ago, no draws away from home this season. So this is a good game, a good example. I talk about this quite a lot on the channel when I'm doing quick filters and stuff like that. Double chance and over 1.5 goals. So Jegarden to draw or win, which, they haven't had a draw yet. So I would lean towards them winning, given the state of the home team, and over 1 goals in the game. And this takes our double with the other game to 2.6. So let me know what you think about that one in the comments as well. And what we're going to do next is jump to the bet slip generator to show you how you can create slips like this in a matter of seconds, leaning on the probability model. And finally, just to show you, it would be 1.7 the odds for this as a single. So let's see how they do. One game at 2 p.m. and I think this one was at 1 p.m. So let us know what you think about this one in the comments. And by the way, if you've got any predictions, any games that you're on today, let us all know in the comments and we can share predictions there. So this is the bet slip generator, and if you've not used it yet, it leans on the probability model, which is a sophisticated mathematical model which uses a ton of data to predict the outcome of games, and it powers the value betting, the successful value betting on OddAlerts. And what you can do is you've got the target odds here. So my target odds are 2.5, and you'll see in a minute that sometimes it starts just below that and gradually works up towards it. I want 2 items per slip, so doubles. You could put this to 3, 4, 5, 10 if you want. I wouldn't suggest that ever, of course. Keep things simple and make sure probability is on your side. The odds per item, so the minimum and maximum, so 1.2 is a minimum. So let's say we're looking at home wins. We're not going to get a home team that's 1.1. Minimum is 1.2. You could probably bump this up to 1.3 or something. And the maximum is evens for a single selection. So over 1.5 goals is what I've got selected at the moment. We'll do a couple. We'll do the one that I usually like to do, which is home wins and over 1.5 goals. It's just been performing really well. And we're going to do value bets only. And then we're going to set this to next 24 hours. So your settings are automatically saved whenever you hit get. So we're going to hit get at the top here. And you can see we've got some games here. So it starts at evens. The target odds were 2.5. So if I scroll to the bottom, you can see it's found the target odds. And we'll just take a look at some of these games. So this team in Hungary, Puskás are a good team, by the way, but this home team are a very, very strong home team. They're one of the best in Hungary. That is at 5 p.m, 1.55 odds, 65% probability. And because we've selected value bets only, we now know every single one of these games contains value. So every single bet slip contains value. Over 1.5 goals in Norway. That's a given, isn't it? Most days of the week. Over 1.5 goals here in the Danish Superliga, 1.2 odds, so very high probability there. And Tigres to beat Atletico in Colombia tonight, 1.72. That's a value bet as well. And this is the bet slip generator. It can do the hard work for you, really, it can. And I'll be putting some more things in here in the future so that you can click into games and view the data and view the stats. This UI that you see with this new menu and these new pages, it's got the player props, value bets. This is part of the new beta app that is launching. It is available to use for pro users right now. And with that said, we will now turn off home wins, turn off over 1.5 goals, and we're going to look at over 2.5 goals. We'll keep things simple, 65%. We'll keep it to value bets. We'll keep the league predictability medium, good, and high. And we run again. And now we get slips for over 2.5 goals. So you can see we've got games here, 3 p.m., 2 p.m., 6 a.m. Sorry, this one might already be 4-4 by the time you look at it. So that is the bet slip generator. It is still a pretty new feature, probably a couple of months old, maybe a bit more than that. And yeah, people really love it. The usage so far has been fantastic. And just another reminder, if you missed the previous video on Thursday, the Premier League predictions video, this value bets page now has the ability to send automated alerts to you. So if you've got your value bet settings set up here, you can then toggle the alerts for each of your settings. So if you've got away wins settings that you like and is profitable, you can then click enable, and what it will do is scan your filter for you and send you new value bets when the odds and the value and everything else hits your settings. So that is a highly requested, one of the most highly requested features ever on OddAlerts. So delighted to finally get it out. And as always, if you've got feedback, any questions, any thoughts on the product, please let me know. So what you can do on the player props tool now is click all fixtures. And what this will do is look at every game that is upcoming on Bet365. So you can see City game is already added. Maybe they've got some midweek fixtures. I've not really checked the schedule as of yet. But we can then go, let's keep it on last 20 games and look at total shots. And we can see we've got Hugo Rodallega. No way. No way is he still playing. The Wigan legend. People talk about Barclays men. He's 39 years old and he's still playing for Santa Fe in Colombia. Wow. Let's get him on. So we can take a look at his profile. 88 shots in his last 20 games. He's having a good time, isn't he? Hugo Rodallega. This is good. This is what I like to do with tools like this. It's the same with quick filters, same with the trends pages, to help you find things like this. Interesting games, interesting players, interesting stats. And if we look at Hugo Rodallega, what a throwback that is. He's not scored in his last 3 games. He's not much of a goal scorer at the minute. What a throwback. I thought, is the data wrong? He's still playing. He's 39. Fair play to him. So in the last 20 games, as we can see here, 19 starts, He's been benched once, but he came on. He seems like a pretty important player. 6 goals, 6 assists. I wonder if he's dropped back a little bit. He used to be a striker, didn't he? Victor Gyökeres as well there. 77 shots in 19 starts. Mbappe, who's injured at the minute. Luke de Jong is always a good option. Let's jump to Bet365 and see if we can put together a shot on target treble. Now, as you might imagine, and I should have thought of this, the Santa Fe game, they are away from home as well. Only goal scorer markets are there, so we will leave that one. So for this shot on target treble, let's look at the main feed, just because we can see the fixtures and the times and everything. The all fixture feed combines all players, so you've got Champions League games on there and stuff. You've got games for next week, to be honest. If we scroll all the way down to here, you've got games in 7 days, which is good. So we'll start with Torino against Lazio in Serie A. Zapata at the top, 57 shots. And Vlasic, Che Adams. He's the fans have taken to him, haven't they? Che Adams, 12 starts, 7 goals and 3 assists in his last 20 games. If we look at his recent form, played 90 against Empoli, scored 2 shots in that game. He's had a shot on target in his last 2 games and in 4 of his last 5 games. So, lineups dependent. I'm quite liking that. Che Adams, always like to back, a Brit abroad. McTominay scored as well, didn't he, for Napoli yesterday? So Che Adams 1.66, not the best odds to be honest, but we will go with it for this treble. So for the next game, we've got Rangers Hibs there. Who else have we got here that we could potentially have for a shot? I'll try and find games that are a bit later in the day. Celta Vigo Girona is an interesting one, FC Twente. Let's have a look at Celta Vigo against Girona. I wonder how Girona are doing. I think they're like 13th now, aren't they? Had a great season last year, of course. So total shots, Abel Ruiz. What we can do is look at the averages for shots on target, because that's what we are looking at. Shots on target here. And actually, let's say last 5 games. And we can see Abel Ruiz 1.2. Willio Swedberg, that's a great name. He is at 1. Iago Aspas, Celta Vigo legend, 0.8. Brian Hill for Girona. Has he been starting? Played 67 minutes, 11 minutes, 66 minutes. And he hasn't had a shot in his last 3 games. Danjuma, good player. He's probably replaced Savio, hasn't he? 23 minutes, 79 minutes, 32 minutes. We need players that are actually playing football. Daley Blind now plays for Girona. I missed that one. So Abel Ruiz takes it to 2.4. Let's just have a look at his data. We can see that it's 1.2, of course. If we look at his fixtures, no shot on target in the last couple of games. In fact, in the last 4 games, he has had 1 shot. So he's not really playing that well. And he's being brought off as well. And he's only 24. I thought he was a bit older. He's only 24. Let's have a look at the other odds, because 1.44, I don't think that's worth it, to be honest. I would rather go with someone like Danjuma. Let's have a look at Swedberg's recent performances. It's not great, is it? None of these players are screaming out to me. In fact, let's leave the game. You don't have to be pressured into picking a player from a game when the odds are not there and when you're not feeling it. It's absolutely fine. Ipswich Town, Aston Villa. I didn't cover this one on the last video, so let's go for that. Ipswich, this is a big game for them. And I'm already liking the look of a few of these players. So let's take a look at the odds. Sammy Szmodics takes it up to 3.3. In his previous game, he had 3 shots, 1 of them on target, in what was a decent point for them. He scored against Man City as well, didn't he? If he plays, I think he'll have plenty of chances. Ipswich, I don't think they'll play with any fear here, and they'll try and take the game to Aston Villa, which will, of course, leave spaces for Ollie Watkins. So I'm feeling Ollie Watkins to complete the trio. Szmodics is someone that I'm looking at. Obviously, Delap is the focal point for this Ipswich team, so he's always going to be a good option. Onana is in decent goal-scoring form at the moment, but it's mostly headers and stuff. Amori Hutchinson, I quite like him. We're looking at the last 5 games here. We can just look at 365 days, see if there's any outliers, and it is Sammy Szmodics at the top, so that kind of makes my mind up for me. Plays this in number 10, and we will go and have a look at the Aston Villa players here, and we will see that Ollie Watkins to have a shot on target. Jegarden, if he starts to score, is an unbelievable play at the moment. He's just on fire, isn't he? So we'll jump to another game. Sammy Szmodics is the selection for that one. And to round off the treble, let's go to Italiano. And we're looking at the last 365 days at Dovbrick. I don't know if anybody's got EAFC, the new game. I started Ultimate Team, and I got him in a pack, and he's a very, very nice player. So that might be why I pick him. That might be the bias. 55 starts in the last 365 days, 0.91. There's nobody actually averaging a shot per game here for these two teams. You expect Roma to win this game. You expect them to have plenty of shots as well. So let's have a look at his data at the moment. How's he playing? So if we take a look at his profile, 11 goals in the last 15 starts. That is pretty good. He's had plenty of shots on target, and I think my mind is made up. He scored 3 goals in his last 3 games. This one is at 2 p.m. and player shot on target, 1.2. Tell you what, we will go with over 1.5. It is riskier, of course, but it takes us up to 6.36 for this treble. So that has been, we'll just end on that. That has been Sunday's episode. As I said at the start, if you want to see more, if you want to see one tomorrow, all you got to do is like this video, comment, subscribe, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow if we hit the target of, 500 likes and 4,000 views. Let's see if you can do it.